can, and it is okay for it to affect, cause, be a part of the reason why I feel a certain feeling. But how I act on that feeling is solely my responsibility. My behavior is my responsibility.
That's my fuck ups. I flip out.
It's okay that I feel a certain type of way. I can say what Classy said made me feel, or it was a part of making me feel this type of way. But after I feel this type of way and I knock all the shit off the table and push her, I cannot say she made me do that. Yep, she said that and that made me do that. Not how it works.
Okay, so this go back to what I was saying as far as like, okay, I feel that emotion because I'm with Casey. Like, I feel the emotion, and so how do I control it or because now I'm already riled up and I'm liable to act.
It's called, this is what I'm telling you. What I'm giving y'all is the understanding of what's happening to you, right? Now we're getting into discipline. And I'm going to put on the screen how, right? I'm going to show you what goes on and what you need to stop, right? So we'll get into that. But if it's one word, discipline. And it begins with discipline with your thoughts. Your thoughts and your beliefs control your behavior. So what you believe about this particular emotion, what you believe about how you're supposed to react or respond to certain stuff, what you believe affects what you think. What you think and believe is going to control what you do. If you have no understanding of what discipline is, you will go around and you will react to things and blame others for the way that you're reacting. Do you understand what I'm explaining, Mo?
Sorry, yes.
A lot of us, and some of y'all may be realizing this in a moment, but a lot of us did not get this in our upbringing. And this is one of the number one things that you want to teach your children. It needs to be taught young. Kids that are 4 or 5 years old can be taught this. And when they practice it that young, by the time they get grown, they're every bit of a human. I feel, but I don't let my feelings run my behavior or dictate how I act with my loved ones.
So what about the ones that were taught to suppress their emotions, like to not feel shit?
It's unhealthy both ways. If y'all understand what I'm explaining, notice when I said earlier, you could bring me a problem and you're the one that feels, right? I don't feel. Just because in this conversation I don't feel no type of way, it doesn't mean I'm supposed to not care. So people that walk around and suppress their feelings and don't show care or any emotions for anything, they just as bad as somebody who fucking act crazy.
When they decide to, it blow up.
No, it's not even that. There are some people, they don't have a blow up. They just go through life constantly showing that they don't give a fuck. There's no emotional care in it. So guess what? People don't want to tell you stuff the same way they don't want to tell somebody stuff that blow up because you don't ever seem like you give a fuck. I know y'all done had moments where y'all like, I ain't even finna call Renee because she ain't gonna give a fuck.
She ain't gonna react or do nothing.
She ain't gonna care. It ain't about a reaction. She not even gonna engage enough effort, like enough energy to what it's even worth it to tell her what I'm feeling or thinking.
That's just like what you said.
That's my sister. That's crazy you said that, but yeah. Right. I ain't even finna call her with this shit because she don't give a fuck.
Right. Exactly. And so the idea is she ain't no better than somebody who is overreacting or reacting. Go ahead, Ty.
Okay, so I understand everything that was being said in the Zoom, but for the people, like you said, that go around suppressing stuff, so like what's the difference between you saying, it's a time and a place for everything, and then at the same time when somebody addresses something, you just not realizing that, stuff start coming up for you, and again, you suppressing it because you're trying to give them the space to
I didn't say nothing about right, but I didn't say nothing about suppressing nothing. I know you but listen to what I'm saying. I want you to listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you bring me an issue, like Ty, you say, hey love, we need to talk. And you call me and you say, love, I want to talk to you because last Saturday when I seen you, XYZ happened and I don't appreciate when you said and did blah. Right? You saying this, I feel some type of way in my mind. Certain stuff, like you say, is coming up. Certain things I feel some type of way about. I'm not suppressing this. I'm making a note, but I'm mature enough to save this for my own separate conversation. And I'm going to allow you to have yours right now.
Right.
Once we resolve yours, my shit that came up from what you brought to me, I'm going to bring it up a week from now, 3 days from now, the next day where, hey, so now that we got to talk about what you want to talk about from Saturday, I just want to bring something up. So when you were speaking to me about the incident that occurred and you started to say this, it put me in a space where I started feeling like this because a while ago, or this right here is something you do, or whatever my issue is. And then I can have my conversation without it crisscrossing into things that you had concerns about. You cannot sort out individual things if you always running them into other stuff. If you're always in healthy communication, there is something called do not Rolodex your grievances. So if anybody ever seen like the old school Rolodexes, it's like you could say it's some of them spin, but it's almost like a bunch of index cards with contact information on them, right? So when we use the term Rolodex your grievances, you got a whole little Rolodex or a little file box of all the shit you mad about. And every time somebody try to talk to you about something that they have a concern about, you go in your stored memories of grievances and you just start bringing them up. You are never actually trying to resolve anything. You just trying to make sure it's a defense mechanism. You just trying to make sure to block off anything anybody bring to you about what you might do wrong. It's not mature. So the idea is you guys should be mature enough to take the shit that may have came up bothering you in the moment, put it to the side, not suppress it. Let me finish what's going on with us today. Allow this to end. Give it a day. I always be saying 24 to 48 hours processing time. Let this shit that I brought to you process so it's its own issue. Later on, bring up the stuff that you have a problem with. Ty, do you understand what I'm explaining?
I understand that, but for me, for some reason, it takes me a really long time to process things. Like, sometimes I won't even realize how I really feel about the situation until, like, weeks. Sometimes.
So this, I'm gonna tell you something.
And then I feel like it's too late to bring it up because it feels
it's
like
never, if something is genuine, right. So if something is a genuine, right. If something is a genuine concern of yours, right, you can bring it up, right? There's no time limit on addressing something that is a genuine concern of yours, right? But you have to check yourself on, am I bringing this up to resolve or am I bringing this up to be some sort of victim? The other part of this is when all of y'all should have my e-guide off my page on managing emotions. It's a 3-slide e-guide, and one of the steps talks about emotional journaling. So keeping an emotional journal. And I'll explain what that is, but this is what helps you keep account of what is bothering you. Because fuck the other individual. It is not healthy to suppress or walk around with things on you that you feel some type of way. This is when you be in the car arguing with yourself. You have an argument with somebody else, but you arguing with yourself. Yeah, I should have told that bitch this, and I don't know why the fuck she even said that. And next time I see that hoe, I should have told that motherfucker this. And that bitch gonna turn around and say, you having a whole ain't nobody in this motherfucker but you. And you all out, I'm talking about practicing some shit for a fight that probably ain't gonna never happen. Right? Your mind is telling you like, we're not well.
Right.
This is why I'm telling you nothing about what we're talking about has to do with not feeling or suppressing anything. It is healthy that when things bother you, you talk about them. Now, a lot of us, because of how we were raised, right? You were never given the safe space to practice doing this, so you don't know how to do it.
Right. Hey, love, so check this out. I was reading a book called